All right, now we're ready.
Okay. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Galen Snyder Show. The Galen Snyder Show brought to you by Aria Health, your neighbors in Lower Bucks County, and by Peruzzi Buick and GMC on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. I'm Vince Reed. Well, as you know now, the Pennsbury Falcons into the quarterfinals of the PIAA District 1 Quad A playoffs. They'll be taking on Penn Ridge for their ball game here tonight, and it should be an interesting contest. You've got the champions from the Suburban 1 League National Conference, which is Pennsbury, against the champion of the Suburban 1 Continental Conference, which of course is Penn Ridge. It's like the old days right now, when these teams used to be together in the same league, and now they get an opportunity to fight it out as you have the champions from both of those conferences taking on one another. And certainly it looks like a very good ball game. Going to be up in Percy, of course, at Poppy Yoder Field for this contest. And when you come down to it, Coach, this is like the old days, and right now it's nothing better than to have the two champions meet.
Yeah, we haven't played each other since 2007. But, you know, we were in the same league together for, I would say, maybe 5-6 years for a while. So we used to run into them every year. And, you know, they're always good ball games. And I expect this to be the same.
Let's talk a little bit about your contest here with Westchester Ruston. You got the win over them, 21-13 in this previous ball game. It was a good, tough battle between the two, and I think maybe a very good one to get underway here to get things started. It's a difference for the kids. They're in the playoffs now. They realize it's a little bit different. You have to move it up a notch a little, and I think they responded very well.
I think so. I mean, Ruston, you know, is a team it's a tough team. They're a team that runs the ball first like us. You know, I noticed in the warm-ups, I think they run a good program. I saw that the players, you know, seem like they've been in the weight room, seem physically fit. So it was a good challenge for our kids, and they were able to pull through.
You know, you look at here making it to the second round, which is the quarterfinals of the district, and you look at it too with the fact that you've got 8 teams vying for the district championship. And it says a lot again, as it seems to just about every year, that to give you an idea how strong the Suburban 1 League is, that you've got half of those teams, 4 of them, are from this league.
I think it's actually 5. If you count, you got Wissahickon, you got us, Chamonix, CB7.
Right, Wissahickon I'm forgetting.
Yeah, you forgot about that, which was
a big upset.
Yeah, unexpected game. So we're actually 5 of the 8. So yeah, I think it does make a statement. We got 2 from the national, 2 from the Continental, and 1 from the American.
Right. When you look at your game coming up now, Penn Ridge, they're a ball club, something like yourself there. They've got a great ground attack. You have the same thing. You know what you're up against. You're up against a fine team that can move the football, of course, and Mike Class is certainly having a tremendous year for them, as Sean Pepper is having for you. You got 2 of the best runners that we're going to have and see all year long are in this ball game.
Most definitely, probably two best running backs in Bucks County going against each other. Class kid has over 2,000 yards rushing. Shawnee's probably closing in on about 1,500 himself. And, you know, if he doesn't get as many carries as Cass, it should be his Class. So it should be, you know, you get a chance to see different backs. Shawnee's a bigger back. And, Class is a speed back, but Shawnee's fast too. So it should be interesting.
When you look at this ball club, give us a little line on what you think of them. You know, go offensively first about this team, where you think their strength is, and what do you think about the line as far as that goes, as to open up the holes for these guys, or be able to hold on nicely if Privla is going to throw some passes?
Well, again, it's a little bit like last week in that they're a similar style to us. They run the ball first. They're kind of a hybrid between some wing T like us, and also some old CB West type of stuff with the closed formations, double tights, you know, some eye, some power pass, things like that. So again, I think both teams should be fairly familiar with one another.
When you look at your team, the way they've played, and certainly they've been up against strong competition all year long. They played extremely well. The Chamonix game was a good one there for the defense to show what they could do, because there was only a 7-0 ball game in there, and you know that's always a big rivalry game. And when you look at your defense right now, the way it's played, it really has come up. I think right now your defense is going to have to do another job on class, just like they've had to do on others this year. But they have arisen to the occasion. I mean, they have really come together very well since the beginning of the year.
They really have. You know, maybe not quite as good last week. I know we probably had a 11 ball player, 11 defenders play very well against the Chamonix. We still had some guys play very good games against Ruston, but as a unit, there's a few guys that can definitely play better. So the goal will be for the entire unit to play, put a complete game in.
When you look at a guy like Mike Class and you're coming in to stop him, just as they're coming in to stop Sean Pepper, when you look at that and you set your defense, what are you telling your defense they have to look for with this kid?
Well, you got to take away the seams so he can't. He likes to either get to the outside or look for a cutback lane. So you have to take away those seams. The other thing is he's a guy who can make you miss, but if you don't hit him with some authority, he can also break tackles. So he's a complete back. I mean, he's a good ball player. He's got good vision. So it's going to be everybody getting into their gaps, taking away the gaps, not letting him get downfield, and sort of stopping him before he gets going.
Tom from Mooresville says that Aria Health's emergency department saved his life. Recently, while playing golf, Tom experienced cardiac arrest and the ambulance took him to Aria Health Bucks County campus, where Dr. Emmerich and his team of doctors and nurses took fast action and literally brought Tom back to life. Dr. Emmerich visited Tom frequently, answered all his questions, even gave him his phone number. Led by Dr. Harry Emmerich, the emergency department at Aria Health Bucks County provides 24/7 care in a leading-edge environment. To learn more about Tom's story at Aria Health Bucks County, visit ariahealth.org/Tom. That's ariahealth.org/Tom.
Hi, this is Larry at Peruzzi Buick GMC. You'll hit a home run every weekend at Peruzzi Buick GMC Service Department. Every Saturday and Sunday, Peruzzi Buick GMC is offering a standard oil and filter change for just $19.95. And remember, Peruzzi Buick GMC is open every Sunday from 8 to 5. Peruzzi Buick GMC is the home of the $34.95 Pennsylvania State and Emissions Inspection every day of the week. No matter where you purchase your car or truck, you can get it serviced 7 days a week at Peruzzi Buick GMC. And remember, we're open Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Stopping him before he gets going.
How much do you put in so far as that goes, the stock of what Alex Krivda can do in throwing the football against you, knowing that, of course, you're going to be looking just like they're going to be looking at you and knowing the run first. But what about Krivda and the possibility that he can put it up there?
Well, he's kind of like the Rusting quarterback in the sense that he doesn't throw a whole lot, but he is effective when he does throw. And size-wise, they're similar. And Krivda's actually probably a little more mobile than the Rusting kid. So. He's definitely a guy who gives them something to stack the line, something they have to worry about.
When you look at what you're going to play against them, anything different because of class? Or are you spotting him and you have somebody really that's going to be watching him all the time, or are you just going to play your normal set?
No, I mean, the way to play a kid like him is, to play 11 guys with their responsibility on defense. When you start spying kids, sometimes, you end up opening holes here or there. I think the best way is to play 11 men, 11 guys getting to the ball, 11 guys doing their responsibilities, 11 guys working on tackling all week to make sure you wrap them up.
All right, of course, we're being brought to you by Aria Health, your neighbors here in Lower Bucks County, and also by Peruzzi, Buick and GMC on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. We're talking with Galen Snyder about this upcoming ball game in the districts, and of course the quarterfinal round of District 1. And of course, you have some really good teams that are in this one, and certainly these are two of the premier ball clubs in the area in Penn Ridge and Pennsbury going up against one another in this ball game. And you look at it, Coach, when you see a team like this that you're going up against, and you got to play your best against these kind of ball clubs. What's it like to try to get the kids up week in and week out when you're in a do-or-die situation like this, and you know how big each game gets a little bit bigger?
Well, last week was a challenge because, having just beaten the Chamonix for the league title, that was an emotional high. I felt like, during the week in practice, we worked, but, I felt like maybe, we weren't all there. I think we were still a little bit happy about the Chamonix victory, and I kind of expected that. It was funny, I even brought it up to the kids this week. I said, if you look at it, this happens in football. I mean, it even happens on the collegiate level. I know Alabama, #1 team in the country, they go out to LSU, they play their rivals, LSU. It's a tight game, comes down to the end. The following week, they host Texas A&M, and Texas A&M's up 20-0 before Alabama's really starting to play, and they never caught up. Right, up losing the game. So it happens, but I don't think that this week that's an issue. I think now, we're focused, ready to go.
I think you're right, because my feeling was that as hard fought as that Neshaminy ball game was, that they were spent after that ball game. I think both ball clubs, because you really had to go out for 4 quarters.
Yeah, and the year before when we lost in Neshaminy, we had that bitter feeling in our stomachs, and I think that we really had a point to prove that next week, getting ready for the first week against Abington. And we pulled off a good upset against Abington. But, so there's a different feel when you're the team that loses that as opposed to like the team that wins it, the emotional that it is.
Well, and everybody is going to be pointing toward Sean Pepper, and one of the things you're going to be needing too is you haven't gotten that big game lately from Daquan Mack, the fullback, and I thought maybe this last ball game against Ruston that he would be the difference and really charge and get something up the middle, but they made it tough on him to try to go up the middle.
Yeah, I thought he ran well though. I thought Daquan actually ran well and blocked well this past game, and so part of it is him not getting enough carries.
Right.
But I thought he ran well, and we will need a big week from him, just like we'll need a big week from everybody, quite frankly.
And you look at this game, and one thing we talked about is the fact that your line, your offensive line now is seemed to be really strong, and the last few ball games, I think they've shown that when they really came to fore and got things all together. And certainly, when you look at it, those 2 sophomores that you have in there, you've got a couple of guys in that line that filled in and helped you along the way. But this line certainly came along just as previously, as I mentioned. One of the things your ball club is good at is kind of patchwork and get something together. You lose a lot of guys from year to year, and a lot of times when you lose guys on that line, you're able to find some people during the course of the season. You did it maybe by about the 3rd game or so this year, made a couple of changes, but that O-line seems to be working well together.
They are. We had a rough first half, but then the second half they put it together, and we had some, we had Sean's long run. We also had another drive where we moved the ball down the field effectively, running the ball over the place. So I thought they stepped up in the second half.
You think that the possibility when you look at a game like this and you see what you have to play against, where do you think your strength has to come from? Of course, they all have to play well defensively, but where do you think in a game like this against a kid like Mike Klass and the running game that he has, is it the linebackers, the secondary? What are you looking at as saying we have to have really good play all around from this certain group?
Well, I mean, defensively, it's all 11 guys, as I mentioned. All 11 have to tackle well. That's the key. They all have to be in the right position to tackle well. That's been a focus this week practice-wise. And getting multiple guys to the ball as well. And then from an offensive standpoint, I think it's, one of the things that has helped us, obviously, the last 2 weeks is, everybody knows us for running the ball, appropriately so, but, the fact that our quarterback, Brandon Clark, has been able to make some big plays through the air, has carried us through.
And I think that's been a key for you since Breon Clark has come on and got into it a few games and showed people that he could throw the ball even if he didn't have to that much. But undoubtedly when he throws it and they see that he's able to connect for big yards or for touchdowns, he just makes it possible for you to not have them really all come up to the line like maybe they would when they had a guy that maybe couldn't throw like he does.
Well, it's funny, they still do. And that's why, we threw those passes.
Right.
And we were, to Breon's credit, he threw great balls. But, that's why those plays are there as well, because they chose to do that. But after a couple, then they start backing up.
Right.
But it's any game they're going to start off doing that, it seems.
Looking at your team and as you look back to the season and you see where you started compared to where you are right now at this stage, of the season in the quarterfinal round of the districts. What's your thoughts about this ball club? I know as far as that goes, I talked to you during the course of the season. You were never concerned about the fact that you had started out a little bit slow and only came in after 3 games non-conference at 1 and 2, because you really felt good about the fact that they played well enough against good competition to be able to be ready for the league. So there wasn't a time, I think, in talking to you that you were really concerned about this ball club, that you thought that you got plenty out of them those first few weeks.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always am confident we're going to, even if it's, things don't go well for us, that we're going to turn it around. We always have, and I always believe we will. So, yeah, that's never really a concern. But I definitely knew with the talent we had, we didn't play well against these teams, there's no question about that. But, by week 3 against Downingtown East, we were showing what we were capable of.
Yeah, I think if you watched that the film of that Downingtown East ball club, I really felt that right there that they were coming of age, and they were in that ball game to the end, and you just had one thing go wrong for you in that fourth quarter of play, and things went downhill a little bit. But I felt that game is where you guys found yourselves.
Yeah, and we played. I agree with you 100%. And Downingtown, like Easton, they were clicking on all cylinders early in the season. Sometimes, obviously, we rarely are clicking on all cylinders, so those were tough games. But it's funny because now they're both out of it.
Yeah, right.
They both were upset, and 2 teams that were in the top 5 in the state, both are done.
Yeah.
Easton's going to play the Thanksgiving Day game.
Right.
Against Phillipsburg. As far as state playoffs, they're both out, which is it's amazing considering the level of teams that they were, especially in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I think if you looked at it all year long, and if you'd have said that in the first round, Downingtown East would be out of it and Easton would be out of it, a lot of people wouldn't have believed that.
No, they would not. And, they both, I'm sure, double submission. I know Easton had some injuries. But Downingtown East, that was quite an impressive upset. I was in it.
Well, it turns out here that we've got ourselves a good one coming up here, and of course Penn Ridge will be the home ball club for this ball game. They'll come in here at 10-1. The Pennsbury Falcons come in at 9-2. But the big thing, as we said too, is the fact that not only for the quarterfinals of the district, but these are 2 champions of the Suburban 1 League, the National Conference and the Continental Conference, to show you how strong these ball clubs are here. And as Coach had mentioned, 5 teams out of the 8 that are in these playoffs right now in Quad A are from the Suburban 1 Conference. So you got some really excellent football, as we tell people each and every week. You got some great football to go watch throughout the course of this area. And we're looking for a really exciting ball game tonight with Pennsbury and Penn Ridge going at it. And Coach, the best of luck in this one.
Thank you, Vince.
So we'll be looking now for Pennsbury and Penn Ridge to go at it in the District 1 PIAA Quad A quarterfinal round ball game tonight, as it's Pennsbury up in Percy to take on the Rams of Penn Ridge. Our Galen Snyder Show brought to you in part by Aria Health, your neighbors in Lower Bucks County, and also by the Peruzzi Group, Peruzzi Buick and GMC, located on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. I'm Vince Reed.